On the morning of January 15th, 1947, a woman walking through a Los Angeles neighborhood spotted what she thought was a discarded department store mannequin lying in a vacant lot. It wasn't a mannequin. It was the body of a 22-year-old woman named Elizabeth Short. She had been posed deliberately, placed with careful, disturbing precision at the edge of the sidewalk, as if arranged for someone to find. Her body had been completely drained of blood. She had been severed at the waist, and her face had been cut at the corners of her mouth into a wide, permanent smile. The killer had washed the body before leaving it there. There was not a single drop of blood at the scene. More than 150 suspects were investigated over the following decades. Confessions were made and retracted. Theories multiplied. Books were written. Films were made. The killer was never found. The case was never closed. And Elizabeth Short, who became known to history by a name she never chose, remains one of the most haunting unsolved murders in American history. Elizabeth Short was born in Hyde Park, Massachusetts in 1924. She grew up during the Depression, moving between relatives after her father disappeared, leaving behind a car near a bridge to fake his own death, before eventually reconnecting with the family years later. She drifted through her 20s the way many young women did in post-war America, working small jobs, chasing dreams that didn't quite materialize, moving between cities. She had aspirations of becoming an actress. She ended up in Los Angeles, which in 1947 was a city full of young women with the same dream. She was last seen alive on January 9th, 1947, leaving a hotel lobby in San Diego. 6 days later, her body was found in Leimert Park in Los Angeles. What happened in those 6 days has never been established. Where she was, who she was with, and how she died, all of it remains unknown. The nickname Black Dahlia was coined by the press shortly after her death, a play on the then popular film The Blue Dahlia and the Black Clothes she reportedly favored. It was sensational. It was reductive, and it stuck, overshadowing the actual person behind the case for more than 70 years. The Los Angeles Police Department launched one of the largest investigations in the city's history. Within days, more than 150 detectives had been assigned to the case. Tips flooded in from across the country. Then something unusual happened. Several days after the body was discovered, the Los Angeles Examiner received a package in the mail. Inside was Elizabeth Short's birth certificate, her social security card, and several photographs, along with a note made from letters cut from newspapers. It read, "Here is Dahlia's belongings. Letter to follow." The letter never came. The package had been wiped clean of fingerprints. Whoever sent it knew exactly what they were doing. Over the following weeks, more letters arrived, taunting the police, claiming to be from the killer, promising to turn himself in, and then going silent. None of them were ever definitively traced. The investigation deteriorated under the weight of its own size. Too many tips, too many suspects, too many detectives working in different directions. The LAPD of 1947 was not equipped, technically or organizationally, to handle a case of this complexity. Witnesses came forward and then disappeared. Suspects were cleared and then reconsidered. And as the months turned into years, the trail went cold, in the way that trails always do. Not with a dramatic moment, but with a slow, quiet fading. In the decades since, dozens of suspects have been named by investigators, journalists, authors, and family members making deathbed confessions on behalf of relatives. One of the most persistent theories involves a man named George Hodel, a Los Angeles physician and socialite who was actually investigated by the LAPD at the time. His own son, a former LAPD detective named Steve Hodel, spent years building a case against his father and published his findings in a book. The evidence he compiled was circumstantial but deeply troubling, including a photograph he believed showed Elizabeth Short at his father's house. George Hodel died in 1999 without ever being charged. He left behind a recorded conversation in which he appeared to reference the murder, though the recording was ambiguous enough to be disputed. Other suspects have included a surgeon based on the precision of the cuts on the body, a man who confessed to the murder and then recanted, a Hollywood figure whose name was connected by rumor but never by evidence. What every theory has in common is this: none of them have produced a definitive answer. The physical evidence from 1947 was handled in ways that would be considered catastrophic by modern forensic standards. The crime scene was contaminated before it was fully documented. Potential evidence was lost, mishandled, or simply not recognized as significant at the time. In a modern investigation, with DNA analysis and digital forensics, this case might have been solved within weeks. In 1947 Los Angeles, it became a mystery that outlived everyone involved. What lingers about the Black Dahlia case, beyond the horror of what was done, is how completely Elizabeth Short has been consumed by it. She was a person before she was a case. She had a family, friends, dreams of a different life. She was 22 years old, and for more than 70 years, her name has been attached to the worst thing that ever happened to her, defined entirely by her death, rather than her life. The killer, whoever they were, took two things from her: her life and her story. The case took what remained. There is no statute of limitations on murder in California. Technically, if the killer was still alive, they could still be prosecuted. Given that the murder occurred in 1947, the killer would be well over 100 years old today. The probability is that they are long dead, taking the answer with them the way so many answers in this world are taken. Elizabeth Short was buried in Mountain View Cemetery in Oakland, California. Her grave is still visited today. People leave flowers. Someone always remembers, even when the case never closes. Who do you think did it? Leave your theory in the comments. I read every one, law and shadow. The law runs deep,